Hi everyone. This is a little clip from Gaddafi's historic speech at the UN in 2009, September 23rd, 2009. And just before I start this, he was talking about Italy and how he was praising Italy for making amends with Libya for colonizing it and planting mines in Libya. And then afterwards they came to an agreement where Italy would build hospitals to treat the people who lost limbs because of those mines, and so they got compensated. And Italy promised to never colonize another country again. So now, at this point, Gaddafi is talking about Obama, and he seems to put a lot of trust in Obama, but not knowing what would happen after Obama's 8 years in office. He even says they want Obama to be in the American president forever. That's how much he trusted Obama. Although he does say something like he's afraid we'll have to go back to square one. Then he talks about what former presidents threatened Libya with: invasion. So actually Obama was no different, and only 2 years later, actually less than 2 years later by days, Gaddafi was no more, and Hillary laughed. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this, and if you have some time to watch Gaddafi's entire 90-minute speech, it really is historic, because at the UN, I believe people were only supposed to speak for 20 minutes or 40 minutes, but they just let him go. And he kept people awake. He was so blunt, and people were amused. Anyway, it's a powerful speech. Talks about swine flu being made by the military, all kinds of things. So in 2009, I watched this speech and I was astounded and fascinated by the truth that he told. And you know, Psalm 23 says, I think it's Psalm 23:23, buy the truth and sell it not. I don't know how you buy the truth, but maybe with your soul. Trade a bit of your soul for the truth. And then you never sell your soul to the evil with a D in front. Okay, so here you go. Thanks for watching. God bless everyone.
Why is this third world demanding compensation? So that there will be no more colonization. So that large and powerful countries will not colonize, knowing that they will have to pay compensation. Colonization should be punished. The countries that harmed other peoples during the colonial era should pay compensation for the damage and suffering inflicted under their colonial rule. There's another point that I would like to make. However, before doing so, and addressing a somewhat sensitive issue, I should like to make an aside. We Africans are happy and proud indeed the son of Africa is now President of the United States of America. That is a historic event. Now, in a country where blacks once could not mingle with whites, in cafes or restaurants, or sit next to them on a bus, the American people have elected as their president a young black man, Mr. Obama, of Kenyan heritage. That is a wonderful thing, and we are proud. It marks the beginning of a change. However, as far as I'm concerned, Obama is a temporary relief for the next 4 or 8 years. I'm afraid that we may then go back to square one. No one can guarantee how America will be governed after Obama. We would be content if Obama could remain President of the United States of America forever. The statement that he just made shows that is completely different from any American president that we have seen. American presidents used to threaten us with all manner of weapons. Saying that they would send us Desert Storm, grapes of wrath, rolling thunder, poisonous roses for Libyan children. That was their approach. American presidents used to threaten us with operations such as Rolling Thunder, sent to Vietnam, Desert Storm, sent to Iraq. Musketeer sent to Egypt in 1956, even though America opposed it. And the poisonous roses visited upon Libyan children by Reagan. Can you imagine? One would have thought that presidents of a large country with a permanent seat on the Security Council and the right of veto would have protected us and sent us peace. What did we get instead? Laser-guided bombs carried to us on F-111 aircraft. This was their approach. We will lead the world, whether you like it or not, and we will punish anyone who opposes us. What our son Obama said today is completely different. Made a serious appeal for nuclear disarmament, which we applaud. He also said that America alone could not solve the problems facing us, and that the entire world should come together to do so. He said that we must do more than we are doing now, which is making speeches. We agree with that and applaud it. He said that we had to come to the United Nations to talk against one another. It is true that when we come here, we should communicate with one another on an equal footing. And he said that democracy should not be imposed from outside. Until recently, American presidents have said that democracy should be imposed on Iraq and other countries. But he said that this was an internal affair. He spoke truly when he said that democracy cannot be imposed from outside.
Well, there you go. He believed Obama, and less than 2 years later, Libya is totally in tatters. And also, Gaddafi said that Libyans could not go to Italy. They weren't allowed to immigrate to Italy. That's because, you know, Italy was probably afraid. They colonized Libya, and why would they? They wouldn't want Libyans to come over there and pay back, or, you know. But now that's where Libyans are fleeing to in boats, refugees going to Italy, mainly to Lampedusa, a place, a town in Sicily where they have a refugee camp, and Italy is forced to accept them, even though a lot of them are dying. Be go away, because if they're on those boats and they're in stifling heat and they can't breathe or anything, if they, you know, they're in the hold in the boat and they go upstairs and they can't stand it, they just throw them overboard. So a lot of them die. Anyway, that's the situation. Gaddafi believed Obama. He was wrong. Thanks for watching. God bless.